Owen Morgan completed his first LV County Championship 100 for 5 years, while Neil Dexter, John Simpson and Ollie Rayner all added 50s to give Middlesex a chance of securing a third home win of the summer, this time against Lancashire. Middlesex certainly had the edge at the start of day 3 when they resumed on 275 for 3 in their first innings for a lead of 9. Morgan, needing 24 more runs at the start for his 100, survived a big LBW appeal early on. There wasn't much play in the morning thanks to the weather, but there was enough time for Dexter to move from his overnight score of 44 to his second successive half-century at Lord's. He needed 122 deliveries for this one, from which he'd struck 7 fours and 1 6. The former club captain is beginning to find his form this summer, especially at home where his team has excelled thus far. Back on after lunch, Morgan crashed a short ball from Kyle Hogg through the covers to get a monkey off his back. Although he has scored Test hundreds in the meantime, this was the Irishman's first championship ton since 2009, although this was only his 20th match in this competition since he last registered a 3-figure score. He'd needed 188 balls for this one, from which he'd struck 12 boundaries. In spite of the time lost to the weather, Middlesex were very handily placed, these two taking their partnership to 126 for a lead of 41, when Dexter picked the wrong ball from Hogg to try to pull. He was bowled on 51 at 307 for 4. 2 more quick wickets then set the home side back in their quest for a big first innings lead. Morgan on 103 glanced a ball from Tom Smith into the hands of Joss Butler, and then Joe Denley edged Hogg behind to go for 8, meaning that the former Kent man has still to get into double figures in 4 innings this summer. At 317 for 6, the lead was just 51, and had this loud appeal for LBW against John Simpson been answered in the affirmative, then perhaps Middlesex would have had to settle for a slender first innings advantage. In the end, though, they managed to get themselves nearly 200 ahead, thanks mostly to an excellent partnership between Simpson and Ollie Rayner. They both played some superb shots to frustrate Lancashire, who, after such a good spell, may have fancied getting out to bat without too much to do second time out. These two batsmen made sure that the visitors will have a tough final day instead. Although not always consistent, numbers 7 and 8 in the batting order rarely are, both Simpson and Rayner are very capable batsmen, as they were proving here. The best batting conditions of the previous day were no longer present, and so that made this partnership even more valuable. Both scored freely, Simpson here making the most of a long hop from Simon Carrigan, who was furious with himself after watching the delivery being pummeled for a maximum. And both batsmen made it to a 50. Rayner was there first with this 4 off Carrigan, taking him to a half-century off 94 deliveries with 5 other boundaries included. It was only the 13th time that the former Sussex spinner has made it this far in a first-class match, although he does have a top score of 143 not out. Simpson, who already has 100 to his name this summer, was raising his bat in the next over. His 50 had used up 91 deliveries, from which he'd hit the rope on 3 occasions and cleared it once. He and his partner had now put their side into a very strong position. With those jobs out of the way now, Rayner went after Carrigan, smashing him for 3 fours in an over to take the total to 441 and the lead to 175. The partnership for the 7th wicket was rushed along latterly to 124. In the pavilion, Chris Rogers must have been readying himself for the declaration. Before that came, Simpson, still on 50, was out slogging Glenn Chappell to Smith at mid-wicket. The message to the Lancashire fielders was now clear. Rapid runs were now the order of the day. Rayner has the capabilities, and he used his long reach to send this ball from Carrigan over the ropes for a 6. Only for the bowler to then get his man, Rayner driving to Carl Brown after making 77. The declaration came immediately with Middlesex on 459 for 8 with a lead of 193 runs. Another heavy shower meant that, in the end, Lancashire had only 10 overs to ensure that not too much damage was done before the final 3 sessions of this match. But Lewis Rees didn't last that long. In the 7th, he was LBW to Tim Murtagh with only 9 runs on the board. Stephen Finn was given the new ball and asked to charge in, something he did, only for Paul Horton to be dropped in the slips. Horton has the ability to bat for a long time, so that may yet turn out to be an important moment. Horton and night watchman Carrigan will begin the final day with their side on 15 for 1. Lancashire will, realistically, have to bat for at least a couple of sessions and perhaps all day to get away from Lords with a draw and to prevent Middlesex making it a hat-trick of victories at the home of cricket this year. Lancashire will begin the final day 178 runs behind.